You're gonna have the first line down.
All right, here we go.
Now, can I start again? Let me see if I can borrow them to you. It won't tie up until the last of this week. We're passing through the Strait of Messina. If I can get this ready in time to seal it, and put it in a bottle and throw it into the sea. Some fisherman will pick it up and mail it. Just thought you might like to get a letter this way. Our skipper told me about this, which is actually my officer of the deck, told me about it, and I'm going to put in 7 cigarettes in the bottle for the fisherman, so he'll mail this for me. We left Messina a couple of days ago, but we'll be back by this again sometime this afternoon. I'm fine and hope you are too. You should be getting out of school before long. I suppose you're glad. I hope you and Peggy, I have you and Peggy a bandana that I picked up in Algiers, North Africa, and will mail it to you as soon as I can. Well, Marie, I hope you get this, so be sure to let me know if you do. I want to know if you will get it soon. I must go and be sweet and love like the Clements.
Do you have any idea how long it took for her to get it?
Now, I wonder, after all these years, I never thought about it. And I wondered what this 9 to 12-year-old girl thought when she got the letter that way. So a couple of years ago, I was telling her that I had lost my copy of the letter in the mail, and she mailed me another one. And I said, Marie, while you're at it, write me a letter and tell me what you thought of when you got that letter. So she did. There. You talk about something. I guess I might well do this then too. She wrote on the letter from C.A. Long. In the summer of 1951, a 9-year-old girl from a small town in Arkansas received a letter from her brother who was aboard the submarine, the USS Quebec, in the Mediterranean Sea, passing through the Straits of Messina. The sailor, C.A. Long, called Huey because of the famous governor of Louisiana, was on his 4-hour watch on the deck. While he was on the watch from 4 days in the morning, 4 days in the evening, he and the officer deck, Mr. McIntyre, studied the current of the sea. It was very important to know the current because if the submarine could stay down for 15 hours, they'd have no where it would be when it surfaced. If they got off, of course, they could run into a landmine, or Mr. Tackle was always on the deck when C.A. had lots of time to talk about. C.A. told Mr. McIntyre he'd write a letter to someone back and put a bottle in and put the cigarette and throw it overboard if the fisherman would pick it up. C.A. still passed the time and learned the cremation of Sam McGee. Now you had to keep your mind occupied. And I don't know if you remember the cremation of Sam McGee, that story. Okay, you remember it? We learned it. Well, it was 64 verses long. So while we was at sea all this time, I'd studied this and memorized that cremation of Sam McGee. I can still do the big part of it from remembering that. The young girl now, wife, mother, and grandmother, 70 years old, remember how excited she was to not only receive a letter from her brother, but also a letter from the one who sent it. Having lost a letter from the fisherman or whoever mailed it, she relied on memory of what the second said letter said. The man said he didn't know the color of the skin, but the color of the heart of the sailor. Having talked with the brother about the letter, because of the fisherman's letter, he said, found thrown down on the streets of Messina, Sicily, off of Naples, Italy. Supposing the first seaman found the bottle, took the cigarettes, threw the letter down. When the second person found it, the letter on the streets and the stamps removed. Reading the brother's letter, he realized the intent of the letter, wrote one of his own and mailed them both. The brother's letter was addressed to Miss Marie Long, and the interpreter, the fisherman, got Miss Marie O'Song, but she still got it, okay? Although the letter was misplaced, the envelope remained now, and 61 years later, young girl still had her brother's letter. And the envelope that came in and the envelope from the fisherman. You see, I'm that young girl, I'm mother, grandmother, and still thrilled to read the letter from my brother, 12 and a half years older than I am, and reminisced about talking about it in the school in the 5th grade at Show and Tell. What a thing to have, the show and tell. I still regret having lost a letter that supposed to have been wonderful to take the time to mail it from a sailor far from someone back in the States, and it thrilled the sailor now, a man 83 years old, to have a copy of the letter to show from his seniors in his complex. Yes. Okay, I'm attaching the letter, okay. Marie Long. Then she wrote me, a few years ago, making a copy letter and envelope, seeing him, and that I enjoy him at the home in Kermo. Okay, that, I think probably that kind of speaks for itself. But it was fun. And she was talking with
Turn it around, Rose.
she was talking with a newspaper person there at
Port Arthur News.
Port Arthur. And he wanted to have this probably put in the Memorial Day weekend. But they was fixing and what have you, and they wasn't able to get together, so they still didn't. But that cremation of Sam McGee, that was, you had to keep your mind busy. So to study this, you gotta remember, you'd be on the helm for 30 minutes to starboard lookout and then the port lookout. Well, I'd try to memorize when I was down on the helm, I'd go back and I'd read another line at the cremation of Sam McGee. And on the port lookout, I'm mumbling, tell me what you know. So I recited what I know. So he started, so while I was down on the helm, I'd come back up, I learned a new line, and I'm telling him. So we were studying, we never did. Now, the cremation of Sam McGee, if I'm not tying up too much. Quite a story, and it's the only one I ever do. I don't read Shakespeare. But it went something like this, if I can remember. Strange things are done in the midnight sun by the men who mourn for gold. The Arctic Trail holds secret tales that could make your blood run cold. The northern lights are singing queer sights. But the queerest they ever seen was a night on the barge at Lake Lamar that had cremated Sam McGee. Now, Sam McGee was in Tennessee where the cotton blooms and blooms. While he left his home down south of Rome around the poles, God only knows. He was always cold, but the land was gold. Seemed to hold him like a spell. He'd often say in his homely way that he'd soar living hell. Let's see.
Cheap there.
That very night as the late pack tight, there arose beneath the snow. The speak of the coals through your parker's fold, which stabbed like the other day. They turned to me and C.A. says he, I'll cash in this trip, I guess. And if and I do, I'll ask you that you won't refuse my love for bush. Now, man's last need is a thing to do. So I swore I wouldn't fail. And before nightfall, the corpse was all for the best of Sam McGee. That goes on and on and on. And he's made this promise that he was clean. It kept falling off his sled. They hated the cursed thing. Well, it seemed to me that I wouldn't say that he said with a sort of a, it's so cold. Well, anyhow, he kept on. He was trying to find a place for his cremation of it. And it was falling off, and he failed. Remember the promise he made? He still had to keep it how hard it got to be. But then it come to the point that he finally got this lake. Well, it came to the lake, the barge, and the derelict there lay. It was jammed in light that I saw in the trash. It was called the Alice Bay. Some planks I tore from the cabin floor. I started that boulder's fire. Some coal I found that was lying around, and I heaped that fire high. Now those flames just soared that furnace roared. Such a blaze you'd seldom see. Then I buried a hole in the glowing coal, and I stuffed it in Sam McGee. I made a hike because I didn't like to hear him settle so. The huskies howled, the heavens fell, the wind began to blow. Just kept going. Hey, too much of it's been too long.
But tell us right at the very end.
Pardon?
Tell us the end of it.
All right, so it went on and I wandered around up through there. Of course, the guy was already losing his mind, basically, because of what he had done. Then he come back to that sea. I don't know how long in the snow I wrestled with the grisly fear, but the stars came out and they danced about, and again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I barely said, I'll just take one peep inside. I guess he's cooked, and it's time I looked that the door I opened wide. Now there sat Sam, so cool and calm, in the heat of the furnace roar. He wore a smile that you could see a mile, and he says, please shut that door. It's fine in here, but I greatly fear you will let in the cold and storm. Since I left Plum Tree down in Tennessee, this is the first time I've been home. Strange things are done in the midnight sun, by the man of awful gold. Arctic trails hold secret tales that make your blood run cold. The northern nights had seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see 'twas the night on the barge at the Lake of Mars with our queen at 17.
I just don't like to text. I just
Alice Ann. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Am I your favorite niece?
Yeah. Named Alice Ann Long. Yeah, Aiken.
I was going to say I'm not long anymore, but I'll claim to be a
And I'm your favorite niece named Sioux City, right?
Susie? Yeah, Susie. I don't have more Susie, so you can be that one. Mary, hello.
My mouthful.
Get him, Aunt Marie.
Gotcha.
You're not going to get me because you didn't ask.
May I take your picture?
No, because it's a recording, not a picture.
May I have a recording of you, sweet Brandon?
Just a minute.
Tell us all about it. A big old burger, okay. A what? I sure did.
What are they?
Old West.
Old West Barbecue. It's right off the high. It's right before you come off the interstate at Minden, and it's that on the road right before you turn. You make the turn. I always go down Junction to get on
That's where they
that.
stop to eat.
I said, Mama.
They're bringing you some of that barbecue?
Of course.
I thought that's what you said it was.
No, they ate it before, but it's the little times that we have together, and I go get her. I went every day from my house to hers.
Jessica. Hello. Matthew.
Years ago, I must have been maybe 15 or so. I had went to, is it Yazoo City? Waterproof,
Y'all talk,
Louisiana, to spend a week or two with Clarice. And she is scaredest thing you, anyway. And Ralph was working graveyard shift. Whereabouts?
Down on the lake somewhere.
Yeah, and so she had locks on the front door, she had locks on all the inside doors, and she had locks on the bathroom door, and then we were locked in the bedroom. And I guess Danny was a baby.
Danny was about 5, about
Yeah.
6.
And she had a big bed and a little bed, And so we were all sleeping in the same bedroom.
And I had the windows nailed, even though it was summertime. I had them nailed so they only raised so high, so nobody could get in. It had to be a skinny somebody that could come in.
So we woke up in the night, heard some kind of racket,
Of
and
course, the house was on the block. It wasn't.
on the slab, it was on blocks. And so she thought I had a louder voice than she did.
Now, wait a minute. We heard something bumping around, bumping around, bumping around. I thought they're in the kitchen, they're in the diner, they're in the other bedroom there, and we could hear them. We could hear it bumping around in there. And I got scared. I lost my voice. We had a neighbor that was a chicken yard between us. The neighbor was over there, the sweetest old lady, Miss Goodfellow.
Yeah, Miss Goodfellow
And I said,
now.
Peggy, you got to holler. We didn't have a phone. We didn't have a partner. Anyhow, Ray said, I said, you're going to have to holler for Miss Goodfellow because I can't. And Peggy started saying, like she's fixing to sing opera or something. Help, Miss Goodfellow, help, Miss Goodfellow. Danny woke up and said, hush, Aunt Peggy. Tell him, you hush. And finally, we saw a light going over there. And heard Mr. Goodfellow say, we're coming. Well, we were all walked back in there, and she called the police. But she ran over there. First, she told her husband, Roy, somebody's over there killing Miss Smith. And Danny, we got to go see her. She came and knocked on the door. Well, we didn't hear. We was too
Because we were
scared.
too far back, locked under all these locks.
Finally,
But now to back up, she had this gun. What the gun?
410 shotgun, I think. I didn't have a pistol until I had 2 shells. If I didn't get them in 2 shells, that was his philosophy. I should have used one of them on him. Anyhow, we finally heard the policeman knocking on the front door, and I wasn't about to unlock the door, and I said, I had to put my lipstick on. I did put my lipstick on. And I said, and I was, you see, I said, Peggy, you hold the gun because I got to put my lipstick on. I was doing it right there.
Shaking most nice shake.
We went ahead of it. I cocked the gun, shotgun. Oh, I'd already shot out the back window.
Yeah, we shot out the back window. It was up this high.
The
and she
lady
shot
was
out the
behind us, and I was afraid I'd killed all Miss Goodfellow's chickens because they were so roosted. Anyhow, I wasn't worried about the chickens right then. But we started to the front door and got to the front door and opened it, and they looked and looked. They decided it was probably an armadillo under the house. Well, he scared the water out of us. Anyway,
It was scared more than
and the
water
policeman
out of
said,
her.
Miss Smith, would you give me the gun that I gave it to young cocktail or something? That was the saga of the.
But you had to put lipstick on.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she had,
Looked like somebody had cut my throat and all.
she had to hold the gun.
You had to hold the gun while she put on her lipstick.
No, I don't care about lipstick.
Yeah, you did. She put the, and then you had to hold, she held the gun while you put
Oh,
lipstick on.
okay, 'cause she was
We
scared.
we know what is better than you do.
Oh, you know this story? Well, I've had a few senior moments, but anyway.
The
All right.
cat and the piano player. Ralph was on graveyard. Nothing ever exciting would happen when he was here. It was always when he was on graveyard. So the cat slept all day long and he roamed all night long. When I was at graveyard, Danny was already married. Yeah, I had Nancy and Sally, and we all slept in the bedroom with the doors all locked in there and all the house locked up. And during the night, somebody been playing the piano, they left the lid up. During the night, the cat was walking around the top of the piano and he jumped down on the keyboard. I hope it scared him as bad as it did me because he ran down the whole thing. And I sat straight up in bed. I had an old 45 on the headboard then. No, Nancy was in the front bedroom. Anyhow, I can't remember that part. Anyhow, I called Nancy. She came back in the bedroom and I told her what had happened. I said, it might be somebody in there just gonna do that, just to make me run in there, just whatever. And I said, what you're going to do, you're going to walk in front of me and turn the light on in there. If there's anybody in there, you hit the floor because I'm going to shoot. And I had it cocked. Well, she opened the door, wasn't anybody at the cat. But before that, I saw the cat walking out kind of looking cuckoo, like he was scared. So he went on that way. We didn't find anybody. Then we couldn't uncock the gun. We didn't know how to uncock it. We tried everything we could think of to get the gun under the 45 undone without shooting the wall. I should have shot the cat. That entered my mind. I didn't want to have to repair the walls or whatever. Anyhow, we finally got in the bathroom, got a Reader's Digest and put it between the firing pin and the thing and eased it down so that's when the cat became an outside cat. He was the inside cat, but then he became a yard cat after that.
And that was the end of me going and spending any time with her.
You were in service and service you came down to spend a few days with us on leave or something. Maybe you just gotten out or something.
I don't remember that part. It's been too long ago, but I think your brother's gonna sit down here.